in, come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Yes! Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. Yeah. Ooh. It is Monday. And I have plenty of thoughts when it comes to the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Do you think that this was their best episode so far? Last week I said I feel like that was their best episode and I enjoyed it, but this was definitely like their best episode, maybe because it was focused more on their personal family stuff and it was focused more on the moms. We got to see a lot more of the moms. Mama Dorothy was there. Mama Sheila was there. Gizelle and Karen were hanging out with their daughters. I liked this theme this week. How would you rate this episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac? Those of you that are watching on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, those of you watching on YouTube, you can vote in our live chat poll. Pretty Pink Survivor says boring. Okay, calm down. Look, calm down. All right, look. Everyone has a right to their opinion. I don't think so. I liked it. So I'm not going to waste any of your time. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the video, be sure to share the video. If you're listening to the audio version of this, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Shout out to everyone that has already rated us. And I'm so excited for this week's live show. The premiere of Kempire After Dark, the live tour, is starting here in New York City at Green Room 42. I don't even know if you can get tickets now. You can go check. If you've been waiting, go check now. I don't know if there might be one or two. But yes, meet and greet tickets and things like that. There still might be some. Go check. If you've been waiting, sorry. All right. Let's get into our recap of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Come on.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow me, lead it. Just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, this is our weekly recap of The Real Housewives of Potomac. And as I asked you at the top of this, how would you rate this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac? I probably would give this week's episode, because I enjoyed it so much, an 8.5. 8.5, maybe an 8, just because I would have liked to see Dr. Wendy Asefo be a part of this Mother's Day situation. I also would have thought, what would this have looked like if Gizelle was invited? But then I thought to myself, Gizelle probably wouldn't have come. So what would be the point in inviting her? As you know, we covered a story over the weekend that Candiace told New York Live that she feels as if the cast is trying to ice her out. Ice her out. What do you guys think? Do you believe that the cast is trying to ice her out? I think so. I think they're trying to ice Candiace and Dr. Wendy out. They're refusing to film. They're not refusing to film. They're refusing to engage while filming. So it's very clear their intentions here, and it wouldn't be the first time that they've tried to do this on any of these shows. But our girl Karen Huger, as always, continues to bring what we need every single week. If it's not the funny, last week she brought a serious cause and charity. I was like, yes. This week at the top, we got Karen and her daughter Rayvin. Her daughter Rayvin is based here in New York City, but she went down to be with her mom. The very first scene that we get is with Karen and Rayvin going to get a little tattoo in honor of Karen's mom. It's a little G. You know, she's celebrating her triple 20. So she's getting a little G in honor of her mom. And Rayvin's getting a matching one on her arm. And of course, in true Karen nature, she's giving us the theatrics. She's just like, oh, so what is this going to be? And then when she finally gets it, she's screaming, oh! It was such a light, fun scene. And we even get a confessional with Karen and Rayvin. I think it's sweet. It's nice to see Karen in her own personal life. And if you follow Karen on social media, then you already know that Karen and Rayvin are always hanging out together at the fashion shows. Rayvin is in fashion PR. She's doing her influencer thing. It was nice. But I feel like Karen has been very busy this season carrying the show on her back. But like I said, when I dropped by Layla Lynn's channel yesterday, so if you missed that, Layla Lynn and Grace and I, we collaborated yesterday on a video about the problems that might be happening over at Potomac and why they might be flopping this season. So be sure to check that out. But I said, Karen is carrying the season on her back, but Karen can't carry the season on her back alone. This is part of the reason why people aren't watching. Karen has been a lifesaver for me so that I'm able to watch it. So I was glad to see Karen at the very beginning of this episode. All right. So they're getting matching tattoos. We get an update on Rayvin and what she's doing with her life. One of the things that Karen mentions in this scene is that, we're going to do a little breakfast lunch situation with Gizelle and Grace. Okay. And Karen pointed out that I know you've had issues with Gizelle. And then I was like, oh, they have issues. But then, of course, you're reminded, well, would you like someone that has talked the way that this person has talked about your mother or your father or wished him dead? Oh, I know that's not what she necessarily did. Karen ran with that narrative. But I'm just going to say it. Come on now. Wished him dead? So I can understand why Rayvin might not see it for Gizelle. I mean, a lot of people don't see it for Gizelle lately. But when they flashed back to that scene with Gizelle and Karen, I was like, there was a time that people liked Gizelle when she was likable. There was a time. Can she get back to that place? Could people look past some of the dirty deeds of the last few seasons? I'm asking you a serious question. Look. Oh, okay. Maybe not. Okay. Anyways. Guys, today's show is sponsored by BetterHelp. I'm so excited to be partnering with BetterHelp for this live show because at the end of last year, I had already started the journey of really focusing on my mental health and making that a priority, not because anything specifically was happening, but because of the job that I do, between social media, the comment section, but also the topics that we cover. I said, I need to sort of give myself, just be proactive in getting my mental health and a therapist lined up. God forbid, I might need one eventually because of something. And sometimes it's good. You don't know what you need until you have it, right? So I was so excited to partner with BetterHelp to sponsor today's live show. And of course, I had to give it a try. I can't bring to you guys something that I haven't tried myself. Look, I tried it this is my first week trying it, but I loved it. You know why I loved it? Because, I'm the type of person, I need things to be professional. I need things to be, let's do this. Make sure that everything is 1, 2, 3 and easy. So you fill out a brief questionnaire where they kind of get to know where you're at and what you're looking for in a licensed therapist. So I'm excited to partner with BetterHelp for this video. And like I said, I've tried it. I think I will continue to utilize it because look, we all need someone that will listen to us. And they have to, right? Just saying. Anyways, so I've tried it. I like how seamless it was. I like the process it was. I love the fact that you can text your licensed therapist. You can have a phone call with them. You can video chat with them, whatever you are comfortable with. All right. So if you're thinking about starting therapy, I think that you should give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, as I mentioned, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. We're all so busy, so you can figure it out. There's always someone that will be available for you. So all you have to do, as I mentioned, is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. And most importantly, you can switch therapists at any time. Do not feel like you are obligated. Stop being a people pleaser. This is the one time you don't have to please anybody. If the therapist is not working for you, feel free to switch therapists at any time at no additional charge. No additional charge. But the great thing about that questionnaire that you fill out at the beginning is you kind of weed out having that issue. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. So become your own soulmate, whether you're looking for one or not. Visit BetterHelp.com/Kempire today to get 10% off of your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Kempire. More information will be available in the description of the video or audio version of our podcast. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. And I think it's a perfect way for us to get into what we're talking about in this, especially when we're talking about moms and stuff like that. This entire episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac was essentially focused on moms. I even feel like Married to Medicine, too, it was moms. I don't know. I even enjoyed Married to Medicine, but we'll talk about that at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. All right? So back to Real Housewives of Potomac. So we had that scene with Karen and her daughter. I thought it was really, if I get a tattoo, I don't have any tattoos. If I get a tattoo, I would probably do something very simple like that. Very simple, nothing too extra. Nothing too extra. Just a little G. Look, a little G. I'm not going to get a G because who am I going to G? Oh, well, my sister Grace. I could do that. Look, Grace. Anyways. Candace, speaking of moms, Candace and Dorothy, we get to see Dorothy. They meet up with the planner for this Mother's Day brunch that Candace is planning. And shout out to Candace. I tweeted this last night after we watched it together on TikTok. Finally, we had an event that had class, luxury. Like, she did that, right? Come on. One time for Candace. You know I'm going to give people credit when credit is due. And then I was reminded that Candace's wedding was gorgeous. I forgot about that. Her wedding was gorgeous. Her wedding dress was gorgeous. We haven't really seen a lot of Chris this season. Y'all notice that? Wait a minute. You know, we're always looking for the husbands. Where's the husband? Where's Chris? I mean, would you blame him for not wanting to be filmed too much this season? Honestly, after last season, I wouldn't blame him. That's the one time I wouldn't blame him. Curtis, on Married to Medicine, I don't know about that one. But we will get into that later. So she meets up with the planner for this event with Mama Dot. So it was nice. It's always nice to see Dorothy. It's always nice to see Dorothy. I know some of you are like, no, it's not. Stop it. All right. So she says one of the things that this group shares is that they all have special relationships with their moms. So she's, planning to invite everyone. She's not inviting Gizelle, but can you blame her? I mean, I can't blame her, but then I thought to myself, because, I'm always twerking on a fence. I thought to myself, I said, I wonder if she had invited Gizelle, if that could have turned a page. But then I thought to myself again, well, Gizelle probably with her hateful self wouldn't have showed up. Then there wouldn't have been no movement forward. Like, I'm trying to give Gizelle some credit, but Gizelle wouldn't have shown up, and then we still wouldn't have moved forward. But Gizelle has such a sweet relationship with her own daughters. I thought this all would have been really beautiful to have. But that damn woman's so hateful. She's not going to show up. All right. So as you can see, that is my thought level as I'm trying to think, well, Candace, maybe you should invite her. Only for me to realize, like, she's not going to show up. She's not going to show up. Anyways. So she tells her mom that the space that where they're going to have this Mother's Day brunch reminds her of where she got married. So they flash back to the wedding. Wonderful. Then she talked about how she is going to invite Robyn. She's planning to invite Robyn because even on Watch What Happens Live, Candace says that what we haven't seen on camera, there is a real friendship that Robyn and Candace had. And I believe it. I believe it. But then I thought to myself, based off, I can tell you the amount of times I watched that sit down between Candace and Robyn because I really was trying to understand both sides. It's twerking on a fence. Twerking on a fence today. All right? I don't know if I'll be twerking on the fence come Thursday, though. Kitchen table talk, you don't really twerk on the fence. You just say, like, damn them. All right. Anyways. So Candace reviews her invitation. She's not planning to invite Gizelle, but she wants to invite Robyn. All right, Robyn. She says she's also going to invite Ashley because even though she thinks Ashley's raggedy, she does think that she's a good mom, and she's going to invite Sheila in that wig. Just in case I forget, let me just mention it now. At the Mother's Day brunch, did you guys, because you know I pay attention to body language, did you notice Mama Dot looking up and down Sheila's wig? Not up and down her body, up and down that wig. Go back and watch that scene. Go back and watch that scene. She was looking at Mama Dot's wig. I mean, pot called kettle. I'm just, come on now. With the way, I'm not gonna talk about people's wigs, but Mama Dot, stop looking at her wig like that, because she could look at yours too. Anyways, let's move on. Stop. Shut up. That's kitchen table talk. Nope. Let's move on. So Candace is planning to invite everyone except Gizelle. All right. She's going to invite Ashley. She's going to invite Ashley. She's going to invite Robyn. We should also keep in mind, I hate to break the fourth wall for you, but they broke the fourth wall at the end. All right. These events, they want the housewives to attend, even if they don't like them, because that's almost a guarantee that it's going to end up on the show. If someone's missing from a scene, you just don't know if they're going to keep it in. So we should keep that in mind. So Robyn and Gizelle weren't there, and her own friend, Dr. Wendy, wasn't there. We will get to that. Speaking of Wendy meets with her new production team, or potential production team. As you know, she launched a daytime talk show on her YouTube channel. Has she released any new episodes? I know she released a few. Maybe they're on hiatus. Look, maybe they're on hiatus. She has a season. I wish we had seasons here. I never get a break. I never get a break. I wish we had seasons. Damn. So I guess she maybe she's had a season. She's taking a break. All right. So she's meeting with this production team, and she reveals, because you remember the woman that she wanted to help produce this show actually has a history of producing shows. All right. And she's known Wendy for a long time. This is according to Wendy when we first introduced this woman. But according to Dr. Wendy Acefo, she said a red flag was that this woman sent her a contract where she wanted 50% of the show. 50% of the show. Well, hear me out. I agree with the woman. I agree with the woman. Hear me out. And this is coming from someone that wouldn't sign over 50% of my show. But I produce this. I create this. Ain't nobody, if someone comes in right now, unless you are providing something of great value, you're not getting 50% of nothing. Okay? However, Dr. Wendy, you don't know who or what you want to be. Yes, you would be the face of this, but this woman has years of experience. You told us this. Years of experience in producing. She could possibly take this from YouTube to a larger platform, possibly television, where you want to be. Based off what you've described in regards to this woman. And I'm not saying that she deserved 50%, but did you reach back out to her? Maybe we can agree on a different amount percentage-wise. But if this woman came to her wanting 50%, says to me that she knew that she was coming in with doing a lot for this show. All right? But we don't know the logistics. According to Wendy, based off of this scene, a confessional, was she like, this was my brainchild. This was, I created this. You didn't even have a title when you were talking to the woman about this. You just had a concept. It's one thing to have a concept. It's one thing to have a concept, but to actually produce that concept is going to be another thing. I'm not saying that Dr. Wendy Sefo can't do it, but it didn't seem like she had a lot of direction. And I think that's what this woman was going to give her. Alex says, why not 60-40? My thing is, did you reach back out to her and says, I can't do 50. Where can we meet in the middle? Based off what Dr. Wendy Sefo said in this confessional, and look, it's a confessional, it's an edited show. She's probably thinking, I don't need to give you that. This is my platform. So I don't want to give ownership, which I also understand. But if you don't have the experience in producing something and you are giving her the majority of the work to do. And I hear you guys too. You're like, oh, here we go. Another season with Dr. Wendy trying something else. She's been very open off of the show about trying to find her way. I actually think a daytime talk show makes sense based off of her experiences. She already is a commentator on, news networks. She's on a reality show. She is also a professor. So I can see where she would think, yeah, let me do daytime talk. All right. I've seen a couple of the episodes. They're okay, but sometimes you got to find your way. You got to find your way. Look at Jennifer Hudson. Sherri Shepherd, we have to remember Sherri Shepherd when she started on The View? Sherri has prepared herself for where she is now. I can't say the same for some of these people. Some of these people that are on daytime talk. So I don't think that it's a far-fetched, thing for Dr. Wendy Sefo to do, because it seems in line with what she's already kind of doing. I don't think it's like last season when she wanted to start a restaurant, a bar, lounge with a library in it, with Peter Thomas, who has no restaurants at this point. Can you imagine what we're going to say at Kempire After Dark on Thursday here in New York City? Oh, if I remember everything, I'm not going to hold back. I might even cuss. What the no, I'm not gonna. You never know. Just saying. Anyways, so that's my stance on it. But Dr. Wendy Sefo decides to meet with this young black crew. I can appreciate that too. Give someone an opportunity. And I feel like if they're the ones who produce what we've seen so far, they have done a decent job. They've done a decent job. All right. So she's saying that we don't have a show like what she wants to do. Here's the thing, though, Dr. Wendy. I get what you're trying to do with the show, which is not impossible to kind of streamline what you're trying to do. But it sounds all over the place based off of how all over the place you've been trying to find direction over the last few seasons. So it kind of is giving me that feel. But I kind of get where you're coming from. You want to do something that's talking about pop culture, but also talking about some serious issues. I definitely think you can do it. You wouldn't be the first to do it. I know you probably think that you would be, but you wouldn't be the first. Just saying. But girl, if that's what you want to do, I actually feel like this makes more sense than any of the other things. And so many people have been asking, is like, are the candles still available? At BravoCon, the candles were being sold. So and I smelled them. The candles smell good. She's still selling candles. Happy Eddie is selling the reefers. And the merch. I meant to get merch and all this stuff. I forgot. Because I didn't want to carry all that stuff all day. And I was like, oh, I'll get it at the end of the day. And I forgot. I left. Damn. Anyways, moving on. Nneka. We finally get to... I honestly feel the scene that we get with Nneka in this episode should have been her first scene. Because for me, if we were introduced to Nneka the way that we were introduced to her and her sister in this episode, and we weren't getting into all of this other stuff with Dr. Wendy Estefo, I think probably people would feel differently about Nneka. I thought this was a nice scene, them going shopping. She's got this new house. You know we love decor and homes and real estate. So she goes with her sister. Her sister's very accomplished as well. Part of Nneka's storyline is that her Nigerian family wants her to have a baby. She really has focused on her career and things like that first. Her sister had a baby as soon as she got married. Had another baby when she was in med school. We even find out about how far her father has come in regards to when he came to this country, he was driving a taxi. Now he is like one of the top cardiologists. I feel I liked the scene with Nneka, although some things felt a little forced. Okay, some of the things felt a little forced. I like seeing Nneka with her own family, getting to know her separately from the group. And that's part of the reason why I feel like this episode was probably one of their better ones this season for the Real Housewives of Potomac. But some of it felt like when they started doing that song, Sister Don't Want to Miss the Sister. I was like, okay. I was like, come on now. Anyways. But I liked it. I liked seeing them together. I liked not talking about the other ladies or the situation. I'm glad that didn't even come up. I'm glad they focused on their family, them shopping, on the future. I much prefer that. I much preferred that. All right. We talk a little bit more about the whole Nneka situation and the article yesterday. As I said before, I collaborated with Layla Lynn and Grace Report. You can watch the video on Layla Lynn's channel. If you want to take it on the go and you don't have YouTube Premium, you can listen to it on our podcast. All right. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. All right. So they talk about that cute scene. Another cute scene, Karen and Gizelle meet up with their daughters, and we learn about how Karen and Gizelle met, and they met at the organization Jack and Jill. All right. And they talk a little bit about what that is. And Rayvin was a part of that, and Grace were, but they're far apart in age, so they didn't really interact. All right. But Gizelle wanted to have this meeting to kind of like prepare Grace for this next chapter. Grace is going to Florida for school. All right. So is what's the name? Heavenly's daughter. I wonder if they're going to the same college. I mean, Florida's a huge place, but I'm just saying. So she's going to Florida. She's going to be away from mom. All right. So they decided to have this sort of kumbaya moment with their daughters to kind of help Grace, answer any questions Grace might have. Gizelle says, she's going to be hurt not having Grace around because Grace is like the glue of the family. I mean, she's the oldest daughter, so I can see that. I can see that. All right. Of course, they bring up some old beef between Gizelle and Karen. Cute, light beef, though. Remember the cookie contest? Part of that organization. So they bring that up. They get into that because Gizelle feels as if she was cheated. And Karen says, you didn't follow instructions. Your display was terrible. And if we go by history of Gizelle's fashions and home decor, we know her display of those cookies were terrible. But Gizelle swears that because the prize included a crown and sash, Karen did not want to give that to Gizelle. No, I believe Karen. Look, I believe Karen because Karen has a little bit more credibility than Gizelle. All right? Just saying. But come on, based off of Gizelle's history, who do you think had the best display? Probably Karen's cousin. And look, Karen's a Taurus. We are loyal. So we're going to pick our cousin over Gizelle and her box cookies. I'm going to leave that alone. All right. But they also, Rayvin, during this, gives Grace some advice and says that she'll be there for Grace if she needs it. And Karen says that she'll be there for Gizelle if she needs, to bother Gizelle while Grace is away. All right. But Rayvin said something important, and I'm sure some of you that have been through, leaving home and going to college, she says, in the beginning, she was kind of, happy to kind of leave home and not come back and things like that. But she says now it's a little bit different. She likes coming home. She likes spending time with her mom. All right. So I thought that was sweet. I thought it was a sweet scene. Cute. Look cute. The one time that we can actually, enjoy Gizelle. And that's when it's with her daughter. It's with her daughters. We haven't seen the twins a lot this season, though. Okay. Which is fine. We get to see the grown daughters. I don't want to put the teenagers too much on this toxic show. Okay. All right. All right. Speaking of toxic, Robyn. Robyn, Juan, and their boys go for a stretch. All right. So Robyn reacts to receiving an invitation to the Mother's Day brunch from Candace. And Juan was like, that was nice of her. And look, this was an edit. I don't know if Robyn really was looking at Juan with the death stare, but it was a cute edit. So shout out to the editors. Juan would be more than willing to forgive Candace. And if Juan is more than willing, I don't understand why Robyn isn't. So Robyn literally says that she's fine with leaving things the way that they are, meaning that her and Candace are no longer friends. They will just film together and that will be it. So pretty much the same way that she treats Wendy. That's not fun for the audience to watch, Robyn. She also says that Candace is confused. But a lot of you, Layla said that yesterday when we were talking. She says Candace is confusing. I think Candace, it's twofold. Candace wants a friendship with Robyn because of the friendship that they had off of the show. But also Candace understands that they have to be friendly in order for this show to be interesting and successful. So I think it's twofold. And I think that's something that we need to think about when we're talking about this show. All right? So she's not willing to move forward with Candace in any friendship. All right. But Juan's he's like, that was nice of her. So the boys get stretched. So Robyn and Juan end up getting stretched as well. All right. Cute little family scene. Robyn says that she asked Juan about his job search and what's going on with that. And he's like, nothing right now. Okay. She tired already. I'm paying the bill. All right. So she says to Juan that we have to be very intentional with spending time with each other. And then all of a sudden, all we hear is, and she's like, is he asleep? Here's the thing. It's one thing if you get a massage. I can see falling asleep during that. During stretching, the way that they're maneuvering your body, you're not going to fall asleep. I don't know if that was an edit, if they were just trying to be fun. I don't know. I don't believe it. I don't believe that Juan really fell asleep. I think Juan is just not interested in playing the game of pretending like this is a real relationship. I already told you last week when that scene happened right before Juan and Robyn went into that cooking date with Mia and Gordon. I bet you right now, with all the smack that I talk about Juan Dixon, I bet you if I called Juan right now and I said, hey, Juan, what's going on? It's Kempire. I bet he would be a lot sweeter to me on the phone than he is with Robyn. And he'd be like, what's up, dude? What's up, baby? Like he did to the coach. Someone says stretching is very relaxing. I can see it being relaxing. I just don't see you falling asleep. But again, it's an edited scene, so who knows how long they were on the table. Fell asleep. If they were in mid-conversation, you're not falling asleep like that. Come on now. You would probably fall asleep if you were by yourself. Not if you're there with your kids and your wife. Allegedly wife. The signs keep just showing me exactly what I've been telling y'all about this relationship. This is true. Ulala says we've seen Juan more than another husband this season. You're right. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. All right. Let me just say thank you because we had quite a few super chats. Thank you guys so much for supporting. We appreciate you. Emily says, last week, Juan was outside of the building of the double date to make a call. He said, "What's up, baby?" Seemed to remember he was mic'd, stuttered, then started calling the caller coach over and over. Oh, my God. Who knows? You just never know with Juan. You just never know. Fax, thank you so much for the super chat. Fax says, regular Robyn and wandering Juan, he fell asleep. Probably the sweetest thing he's done for her all season. I honestly thought he was going to shout at her. Oh, wow. 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 Robyn, I hate this for you. CJ, thank you so much for the super chat. CJ says, 3 out of 10, too much of the same drama and no fun together. Okay. I felt like it was very different this week. SD Mac, thank you so much for the super chat. SD says, Candace should have told Robyn that you don't get to protect Juan while assisting hits on Eddie, Ray, 2 Chris's, and even Michael Darby. That is why I went off on social media about your hypocrisy. Ooh, whose hypocrisy? Look, SD Mac. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hold on. CJ, thank you so much for another super chat. CJ says, ooh, there we go. CJ says, so much for conflict resolution. All right. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Julie says, Kempire, it was the Joe Mendoza that had his question asked on Watch What Happens Live last week. Okay, back to my nap after the Bills lost last night. KSPN. Oh, they lost? Oh, woo, woo, woo. Woo, 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 Bills fans. Who are they playing? Paralegally Exhausted. Love the name. Thank you for the super chat. Paralegally Exhausted says, Wendy said in an interview a couple of seasons ago how Robyn befriends the ladies off camera and she thinks she does it to get info for the show. Really? Interesting. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. She probably learned from her friend. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, I was going to nap, but got caught up with Miss Bernice, and I'm at work on football and haven't paid attention to this recap. Now I'm taking a nap. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. Fax, thank you so much for another super chat. Fax says, Wandering Juan and regular Robyn had their sweetest moment ever. He fell asleep. This man don't care about nothing and her. Y'all really took a very sweet moment and turned it into something else. Like I didn't say what I just said. Anyways, moving on. Moving on from that scene. Ashley and her mom at home. I thought this was actually another sweet scene because Ashley sort of talks about, she didn't grow up with her father, so Mother's Day was a big deal for her and celebrating her mom. And now she feels like she's a part of the club. So we have the scene with her and her mom getting ready for this Mother's Day brunch, getting their makeup done, their hair done, things like that. So she says she loves now that her mom is sort of complimenting her on how good of a mother that that Ashley is. Sweet. I like this episode. I definitely like this episode. I would definitely give this probably like an 8.5 for me. For me, Replay Crew, how would you rate this week's episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac? All right. Let's talk about Candace's Mother's Day brunch. It was gorgeous. I thought finally, you all have been asking for luxury. I could care less about the luxury. I want people that are interesting. I don't care if you give me luxury or not. It's a nice bonus. It's not important to me. For me, it's that you're entertaining and interesting to watch. But a lot of you have said that Potomac doesn't give you the luxury. I really felt for this Mother's Day brunch, we got luxury. She did a great job hosting it. No one left hungry. All right. And even some of the little perfume things that they were doing. Karen, as soon as she comes in, first of all, Karen looked great. Triple 20 is looking great. So she walks in and the lady talks about the whole perfume experience and things like that. And Karen's just like, oh, well, I'm a part of that world. I've just been recently moved from Bloomingdale's to another division, Bloomies. But you know what? Karen's smart because I'm sure some people probably would have forgotten completely that Karen Huger has La Dame. She hasn't really talked about it or had a scene with it this season. So, of course, you're having a perfume event. Bring it up. She's no dummy. She's no dummy. I just find it funny. I find it really, really funny. I was like, all right, Garrett, break up your La Dame. I still haven't smelled La Dame. She didn't have a booth this year at BravoCon. Right? She didn't have a booth this year. Okay. So she talks about that, all right? Mia's mom couldn't make it, and we know Mia's had some struggles with her mom over the years. She feels like her mom doesn't make an effort. Apparently her mom had to work. So they flash back to some of the issues that Mia has had with her mom. Mia also looked good. I mean, she was getting very sexy mom. She was giving very sexy mom. I'm surprised Mia didn't bring like her daughter or something. That would have been cute too, but I guess too young. Because no one really brought like their young daughters there. Y'all notice Kiarna, Wendy's friend, was there. We've gotten a couple of scenes these last couple of episodes with Kiarna, who's supposed to be a friend of, who also got in a fight with Deborah. But we're not getting anything from her. And Kiarna, I get it. It's the edit, because clearly you're there, but we're not even checking in. We only got that little scene with you and your mom chatting up with Dorothy, but that was it. Last week it was the same thing. Kiarna was there, but that was it. Not them. You think they're editing her out because of the fight? Well, you know what? She was supposed to be a friend of, and the fight happened. She was allegedly supposed to take the photo for her friend of thing, and I've yet to see that photo, so I'm assuming she's not a friend of anymore. Okay. Look. Okay, sorry, Kiarna. Maybe next time. I know you were trying to defend Candace, right? Girl. I guess they're gonna completely ignore it. It didn't happen. That fight didn't happen during filming, and don't nobody care about Deborah. Okay. Moving on. Moving on. So, Mia talked about her mom not coming and the tumultuous relationship that she's had with her mom over the years. Wendy didn't come because Wendy, the paperback of her book, had come out, and her publisher allegedly planned this event a long time ago. But here's the thing. I would have fell for that if Candace didn't say what she said in her confessional, because Candace doesn't believe it either. Candace doesn't believe that Wendy couldn't have made it to the Mother's Day brunch. Candace believes that maybe she's avoiding the situation with Nneka and didn't want to bring her mom to the situation with Nneka being there as well. Only for Nneka to ask about Dr. Wendy. Oh, is Dr. Wendy coming? I don't know why Nneka's asking. You don't like the girl. Why are you asking whether or not she's coming or not? Why are you asking? To start trouble? To start trouble? Mind your business. Mind the business that pays you. Lord, like, why do you care if she's coming or not? We care because we're like, why isn't Wendy? This is Candace's event. Wendy's supposed to be one of your girls. Why are you not here? Okay, she had a book event. All right. Y'all could have switched that around. Come on now. Charisse is a part of this season. We almost forgot, but it looks like Charisse was fully activated during this scene because she's asking all the questions. She's talking to Mia, talking about, I saw Jacqueline. She cried when I was talking about you. Mia then says to us that, oh, she hasn't talked to Jacqueline in a year. But Mia did an interview recently and said that she was talking to Jacqueline. Here's the thing. I don't know if I believe anything that comes out of Mia's mouth. I don't know if that's true. But Charisse reveals that Jacqueline was talking all kinds of mess about Mia to Nneka. And Nneka said she was going on and on about Mia and how Mia's this and Mia's that. She was going on for like 2 hours. She could at least paid my tab. Okay. All right. I can't believe it. I don't know if I believe her and Jacqueline are in a good place. And Mia. I did see that Jacqueline went off on Nneka on social media. I don't care at this point. But she did go off on Nneka on social media. She was like, the way you guys are always talking about me, bringing me up. I'm not even there this season. Okay, Jacqueline. I mean, I'm surprised Jacqueline's not back this season. A lot of people liked Jacqueline. Way more than, who was the other one that was part of last season? I can't even remember. Oh, Charisse. Amy says Carlos did an interview with her boyfriend. And based off the clip that I saw, I'm not watching that. Y'all will come back to me with the Cliff Notes, okay? Or the Carlos notes. I'm not watching that because I'm already gonna look at you side eye. You're her new boyfriend. She's still married to someone else. I get it. He was with her before Gordon, apparently, based off the clip that I saw. But I'm looking at you sideways that you already doing interviews with Carlos King. I'm already looking at you side eye like. You was probably as thirsty as Mia is. So I'm already kind of looking at everybody with like, all right, whatever. Y'all let me know the Cliff Notes, okay, of that interview. I'm not sitting down for that. Okay? I'm not sitting down for that. Joe, thank you so much for the super chat. Joe says, not an 8.5 episode rating. 8.5 means different to me now. We'll talk about that this week. We'll talk about that during my show. I can't wait for the show on Thursday here in New York City for Kempire After Dark. Again, guys, more information on tickets are available in the description. Thank you so much, Mama Ali, for the super chat. Mama Ali says, congratulations, Kempire, on 337,000 subscribers. Show how proud you are by liking the live. We love our Kemp. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mama Ali. Thank you. Shout out to our King's Guards, always holding us down in the live chat. We appreciate them so much. All right? Especially for these types of lives. You know, these types of lives can be, you know, everyone has very strong opinions. So it can be very challenging for our King's Guards. So be sure to show them lots of love, okay? All right, so Sharice is getting in the mess. So Sharice goes over to Ashley and she's like, so are you going to sign those papers? So Ashley says that she's not ready to sign the paper. She feels like it's so final if she signs the papers. She says she has no urgency to sign the divorce papers from Gullum. Ashley, you are exhausting. We don't care at this point. Either sign the papers or get off the damn show. I'm so tired of it. I don't care if she signs the papers or not. Why do you think she doesn't want to sign the papers? Because she wants to extend her storyline? If she divorced Michael, then she's no longer married? You're still messy. They'll still bring you back. You're probably not on the chopping block before, well, I guess Robyn's married now. Look, so maybe you are on the chopping block. She's married, allegedly. Allegedly. I don't know. Anybody find those the marriage certificate? Nope. I won't believe until I see a marriage certificate. Someone Google schmoogle that marriage certificate for Juan and Robyn. They could lie to us. They lied to us before. They could easily lie to us. Okay. Look, okay. So Ashley says that there's no urgency. Ashley, there's no urgency for us to renew your contract for next season. Girl, go. Anyways. So, Karen keeps bringing up her LaDon fragrance, and Candace is not mad at it. She's like, a businesswoman's gonna businesswoman wherever, whenever. Yes, Karen, keep bringing it up because they're gonna include it because it's quirky and it's funny. All right. So Nneka then asks about, is Wendy coming? Why do you care? I don't get it. Why do you care if Wendy's coming? Are you scared? Like, I don't understand why you're asking. Like, I wouldn't expect you to ask anybody anything about that. Well, that leads to Karen asking on whether or not Robyn was coming. And Candace says, I didn't extend an invitation, but she responded saying that she doesn't believe that they're in the right space right now with their unresolved issues to be together in this type of event. All right. And Candace said this, she told her that she understood. Then they talk about Karen's event that's coming up. So apparently Karen's going to take some of the ladies to Surrey, but she's not taking everybody. She said for liability purposes, like insurance purposes, she's not going to do it. Mia was like, I will cash app you. What kind of insurance do you got down there in Surrey? I mean, But in all honesty, Karen said she's going to put everyone's name in a hat and pull out who she's going to bring with her. Before we even saw the preview, I said to myself, Karen is going to put anyone that she's going to pull out the names that she wants to pull out. Only for us to see in the preview that Karen is going to put only the names of the people that she wants to attend. All right? Thank you, Danielle, for gifting memberships. We appreciate your support. Thank you to all of you that are members of the channel. To become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac. If you're part of the replay crew, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to let us know where you're watching from, how you would rate this week's episode of Potomac, and your thoughts. On Potomac. All right, before I continue and talk about this lunch, if you are a member of the channel, I'm going to drop the call-in link for you first on the backstage, all right? I'm going to drop that right now. Right now. Hold on. Right now. All right. Hold on. Let me drop this. Oh, I'm going on the wrong spot, y'all. Let me drop this. And for those that are listening to this, the audio version, you will not be able to hear the caller. So head on over to our YouTube channel and listen to the full episode here, where you can hear the callers as well. Some of y'all don't want to hear the callers, which is fine. So if you want to hear the callers, you can hear them here. If you don't, you can listen to this episode on the go on the Kempire podcast. Senior Royals, we dropped the call-in link for you first. Royal Court members, we're dropping the call-in link for you next. Live chat, we will drop the call-in link for you guys once we get to 1,700 of you here. Oh, we need to get to at least 550 likes. No, let's get to 600 likes, more like it. Let's get to 600 likes. Easy and free way of supporting the channel and your channel for those that are content creators that are watching. It's by liking the video. All right? All right. Team Kempire members, we're dropping the call-in link for you next as well. All right? And that's not necessarily a perk of the channel. We just do it as a little bonus perk of being a member of the channel. All right, live chat. Keep liking the video if you haven't already. Let's talk about, okay, before the Mother's Day brunch, which was fabulous, looked like a great time. We had a lot of things happening within this situation, including, and I did get a little nervous. When Candiace said that she was going to sing a little ditty for everybody. Not a little ditty. Well, she said she was going to sing a little song because it reminded her, she got a little emotional. It reminded her of moms and what they mean and things like that. And to be honest with you, she sounded amazing. I thought she sounded really nice. I just wish she would have sang more. She sounded great. I love her tone. She sounded great. And the words, I was like, oh, that is sweet. Woo, woo, woo. Look, woo, woo, woo. Yeah. Vicky said, ugh, I fast forwarded. Oh, come on. Okay. All right. I thought it was a nice scene. I thought it was nice seeing the women come together. It would have been nice to see some more of the women. It would have been nice to see Dr. Wendy herself there. I think Dr. Wendy could have just came by herself or with her sister. But then that would have caused some more trouble because her sister probably would have been, because remember, the sister is friends with Lebe. Damn, we missed an opportunity at this event, but it was a sweet event. So let's talk about this Robyn and Candace scene. Why did Candace look like she was going to a funeral? Why does she look like with the little mesh veil over this bucket hat? All right, we got to talk about the scene. I told you I watched this scene over and over and over and over and over and over and over, just trying to understand everyone's point. And they broke the fourth wall because they were talking about filming a show, a reality show, and sharing your true life and things like that. Look, here's the thing, Robyn. I kind of get where Robyn's coming from, but to say that what Candace did on social media, what she said in her tweets, what she said in interviews was detrimental. Girl, what your friend alleged and insinuated on Candace's husband was detrimental. What she did was unforgivable. And I can see where Candace could come from and think, did Robyn just act like she was my friend last season, sort of to kind of cover her own tracks? Because this is someone that you call your best friend. Your best friend, not just with the whole Chris accusations, but all these other accusations and attacking people's marriages over the last few seasons. Miss Esquire says, what your husband did was detrimental. Yes, to your own health, your family. And that's the only one that he's gotten caught with. Anyways. But Robyn, you could tell, like, part of me watching this scene over and over again, I was like, I think Robyn really does want to forgive Candace. I think Robyn really wants to be Candace's friend. But something is holding her back, and it's not Juan. It's not Juan. Juan looks like he's more than willing to be like, let's let it go, hear her out. He said it a few times this season alone. So I'm thinking that this is Gizelle, because we've seen Gizelle say, I think you should engage with Candace. We have to keep in mind that, again, the reason why Robyn's even on this show is because of Gizelle. Remember, they also have the Reasonably Shady podcast together. They have business stuff together. So I wouldn't be surprised if Gizelle is sort of like pulling the Robyn strings, which is crazy to me because Robyn is an Aries. And Aries are bosses. No one's telling Aries what to do. Unless she's stuck in a place. Unless she's stuck. And I can see that too with Aries too. Look, I know Aries. We talk astrological signs if you're new to the channel. Aries sometimes do get stuck in being people pleasers too. But watching this scene, part of me felt like, I think Robyn actually does want to forgive her. She's holding back. She's holding back for whatever reason. But like I said, I do believe she brought up some valid points in regards to protecting Juan and not bringing it on the show. However, Robyn, you may not agree with Candace, but Candace is not the only one that believes what she believes in regards to you withholding this information. Your own boss, Andy, wasn't falling for it. He was like, why would you not share this on the show? And you're dealing with very similar topics in other people's relationships. Your own boss. And I'm sure production felt the same way. So you're not going to sit here and tell me that Candace is the only one. Candace says the entire universe was saying the same thing. But Robyn feels like, well, if you're supposed to be my friend, why would you do that to me? Why would you insinuate those things? And then they show a clip of Candace on Watch What Happens Live, which reminds me of what Bethany Frankel said on her podcast when she was talking about the reality TV reckoning. And she talked about what they incite, production incites, allegedly, is for these housewives to get up on Watch What Happens Live and to perform like that. So for me, watching Candace perform in that moment was her trying to please Bravo, trying to please Andy Cohen, to say those things against Robyn. But I also get where I am twerking on a fence today. But y'all know, if you're not new here, you know we twerk on a fence religiously. But if that's really your friend, I can see where Robyn's just like, you really went for the jugular when it came to this whole situation. You didn't give me any sort of grace. But then I also think to myself, well, Candace, if you really believe, and I believe this too, because my thing is, I don't know how Robyn, and we can take the Chris situation out of it. All of the things that Gizelle has done over the last few seasons when playing with people's marriages and families, if you can sit here and work with this woman, call this woman your best friend, I'm looking at you with the side eye. You are the friends you keep. And literally, that's what Candace says in this moment. She's like, oh, well, you're mad at me for thinking that you plot and planned with Ashley and Gizelle against my husband. But I'm looking at you like, how can you be friends with a woman that does this? But Candace, why didn't you think about that a few seasons ago when y'all all were doing it together?
And see.
This is what people say about Candace. It was all good until it happened to you. Here's the thing, though. I don't think the issues between Candace and Robyn are unforgivable. I don't think that they were detrimental, anything that Candace says. Just because Candace has a way of saying things that seems like it's detrimental, I don't think that they were. People have said a lot worse about the whole Robyn situation. All right? And you had no problem with Andy Cohen making a joke about your situation. Oh, because that's your boss? You understand what that energy is when you go to Watch What Happens Live, allegedly. They want you guys to show up. Like Erica Jane at Bravo Gun. She's a showman. They are asked to perform. I don't think what Candace did, if you guys really had a real friendship, is unforgivable. I don't think that these two can't move past it if you ever had a real friendship. But maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't. Maybe we will see at the reunion these two resolve things, and then we need to look at Gizelle's face when they do. We shall see. We shall see. I can't wait to talk about this on Thursday. Look, on Thursday at the New York City Kempire After Dark tour, because by Thursday I'm going to have different thoughts. Well, not different thoughts, more thoughts, explicit thoughts. More information on the Kempire After Dark tour's New York City stop is available in the description, along with the DC stop as well. So get all that information in there. All right. Oh, wait, I forgot we got a long line of people backstage. Sorry, y'all. Look, sorry, y'all. So we get to see a preview for next week's episode. We're going back to Surrey. We're going back to Surrey. And Karen is bringing Gizelle, Candace, Wendy, Nneka. Was Robyn there too? I can't remember. It's unimportant. We will see next week when we talk about it. But it will be interesting because Wendy and Nneka are going to be going at it again. I'm so tired of this fight. Aren't you? Aren't you tired of this fight? Replay crew, those of you that are listening to this, be sure to let us know. Hit me up on Twitter at TheKempire to let me know your thoughts on the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. And for those that are listening to this, be sure to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. This is our weekly recap of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Let's get into the callers. Callers, buckle up. Please respect the timer so we can get to everyone. Because I also still need to go live for, not Potomac, for Married to Medicine. All right? All right. Let's switch this out. All right. And let me put up this disclaimer. All right. All right. Judgy Justice is first in line. Where is Alex today? I think Alex is all the way at the bottom. Sorry, Alex. All right, let's bring up Judgy Justice. Judgy Justice, what's going on?
Hey, Alex, guess what? I'm number one today. Anywho, I want to make this quick. So I'm really starting to realize that Mia is more calculated than I ever thought and give her credit for, because I just watched like what is it? As the person would say, the blogger Carlos King's video last night. I was watching that about her new man. And honestly, she ran the bag up on Gordon. That's my thing. And then skedaddled when it was over and went back to her man. Secondly, I think that Robyn is just acting in line with Gizelle's plan to ice out Wendy and Candace, because that's all I can see. Because there was no reason why this girl can't forgive you for just talking about what was in the blogs anyway and being asked about to talk about. And you forgave Ashley for bringing up about your foreclosure and bankruptcy on season 1. She didn't even get a chance to meet you yet, and she was talking about your bankruptcy to everybody and anybody that would listen. And then also, Robyn, how are you protecting your man when you sold him out for clicks and views for $5 a listen? I've seen women on the corner get more money than that. Bye.
I mean, points have been made. It's true. You still talked about it. You still talked about it. You're talking about you want to protect your family, but then you talk about it behind a paywall. And look, I'm not even sure of the timeline of that relationship and Juan and the hotel situation. For all we know, that literally did happen during the season. All right, Miss Esquire's backstage. We're going to bring her up next. Miss Esquire, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire. How are
Oh,
you?
well, how are you?
I'm good. I have to tell you something before I start. I'm not going to be able to make it this week to New York. I know. I know. I know. Crucify me, crucify me, crucify me.
It's
Please
okay.
come on down below the Mason Dix and tell
Well,
me that's somewhere on the tour,
that
okay?
is, that is.
So, can't wait to hear it though. Okay, so here's the thing. Somebody please go and chop down a cherry blossom tree and give it to Juan Dixon because the way that this man keeps showing up to embarrass Robyn on this show, chef's kiss, my favorite part, every episode. Never ever let it stop. I'm so happy that he is clocked in. Peacock, NBC Universal, pay this man his money. When that man fell asleep, the scream that I scrumped, oh my gosh, it's delicious. But let's just talk about why it is Candace. Why is Robyn singling out Candace's reaction to it? It's because Candace is a very easy target. Candace is known as a bully. It allows Robyn to play the victim. She's not going to go after Karen because she knows Karen's well liked. She's not going to go after Wendy because she knows there's colorism arguments to be made there. Candace is like the perfect person to attack and attach this storyline to because there is such a history of Candace bullying people and herself also inserting herself into people's marriages and families. Let's be clear, Candace has been a part of every single major storyline that attacks somebody's marriage. Every single one. From Ashley to Monique. And I think the only marriage she didn't mess with was Sharice because it ended very quickly after 3 seconds of the show starting. So I just think she's a very easy target, and I don't know why she's asking for this relationship. So that's it. Have fun on Thursday. I'm so sorry.
Thank
I'll
you.
talk to you later.
Take care, Miss Esquire. Take care. All right, Miss Bernice is backstage. We're going to bring her up next. Miss Bernice, what are your thoughts on the Real Housewives of Potomac?
What up, though? Lions going to the NFC Championship. I'm a happy camper. Okay. People, Robyn had no intention on forgiving Candace. Her whole demeanor when she came in there. I'm going to listen to what this she got to say. My answer is still no. Me and Gizelle working together to get her off this show. That's all it is. Now, you forget that you and Gizelle went on your podcast and insinuating that Chris was cheating and put the information out there with the fake storyline with the girl who came on there and flat out lied on Chris, saying she was the mistress. But we don't know about that. But you all offended because she was asked questions and she answered the questions. You give selected outrage. The selected outrage, you gotta stop. I enjoyed the show. It was a filler. I enjoyed Karen's daughter. I love her. Only saving grace is to Gizelle is her daughters. Now Grace is going off to college. The twins got one more year, and they'll be gone too. So after that, what you gonna have to talk about?
All right, Miss Bernice, thank you so much for calling in. Go Lions.
Okay, thank you so much, brother. Love you.
Bye. I don't even know what I'm saying. Go Lions. I'm assuming that's Detroit Lions, right? Yeah. Hey, yeah. I will be watching Usher, though, perform at the halftime show. Just want to point that out. All right, Toya's backstage. We're going to bring Toya up next. Let's go to Toya.
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Just wanted to say, I feel like you are the hardest working man on YouTube.
Oh, thank you.
Out to you, Kempire, and I hope your live show goes very well.
Thank you.
I have stopped watching Potomac for the past 3 weeks, and I don't have the desire to start watching again. And I'm a day one Potomac fan, but at this point, the network refuses to listen to us. They barely made any changes that we said that needed to happen for this season. They should have downgraded Robyn and made her a friend of, and they didn't. They brought Nneka in, and let's talk about that Essence article that pretty much read them for Phil. And I'm sure those white people over there do not know much about Essence, but Essence is very well respected in the Black community for over 30 years. and everyone is talking about it, and just about everyone I've seen on YouTube talk about it, including you and Grace Report, um, agrees. So yeah, like y'all need to make some changes. But shout out to you,
Thank you,
Kempire.
Toya. Take care. And it should be noted that Essence, I mean, the target audience is Black women, so they should be concerned.
Mhm.
They should be
Ex-
concerned. All right, Toya, take care.
Thank you, you too. Bye bye.
Bye. All right. We're going to bring up Joe. For those that just joined us, we're taking callers for our Real Housewives of Potomac recap. Hold on, let's bring up Joe. What's going on, Joe?
Hi, happy Monday, reality TV investigator Joe Mendoza reporting. So interesting. I was trying to figure out because Mia was having a shady comment about why Karen was only trying to pick certain people to go to Surrey County. And it's like, is there some truth about this liability insurance, or like, are there just not enough lodging accommodations to fit all these women?
Probably that.
Yeah, I was curious. And then on Watch What Happens Live, I was surprised that neither Wendy nor Candice has actually spilled any tea about Mia when Gordon had actually spilled all these tea about Mia, before their divorce actually happened. So, that was some restraint on their part. So that
Yeah.
was interesting.
Yeah.
With Ashley, I think she's not going to sign those papers because she's still getting the money. So once she signs that, then the money goes away, and we know at this point that Michael probably pays Juan a lot more on the services that Juan provides him allegedly. And Kempire, you've done a lot of workout today, so kudos to you because you've been twerking on that fence this whole week. Okay, have a good one.
You too, Joe. All right, we're going to bring up Jenna next. What's going on, Jenna?
I'm laughing at Joe working out, twerking on the fence. Y'all a mess. Go Lions. That's my Michigan roots. Yes, Miss Bernice. Hi. So I wanted to say a few things real quick. Besides the fact that I'm excited to see you on Thursday.
Okay.
If you wanted to give us a short video, letting us know where we can go to eat in NYC, let us know because I
Oh.
know you like the food. Please do. Because I'm getting there starting Wednesday and hanging out with y'all Thursday, and I'll be there Friday for a little bit. I'm making a whole thing of it, y'all. It's gonna be great. So on to Potomac because I know people don't want to just hear my travel plans. I'm gonna talk about Miss Mia for a second, real quick, because while I do agree that a lot of people, um, or that she lies about a lot of things, I feel like at the Mother's Day brunch, I did kind of feel for her, and I felt for
Yeah.
her. And those now, granted, she looked good, but she wasn't dressed for the event. But that's neither here nor there. But I do feel for her in the way that like she looks sad that her mom maybe couldn't be in attendance, and that gives me the whole idea of because I'm one of those people, and I know a lot of people like that. It's the child that kind of needs you the least
Mm.
that ends up getting the least attention. And so it's like, not that you don't crave the same attention as your siblings, or in some ways you still need it, but since in some ways you're looked at being the capable one, at least of your squad, because y'all know I feel like Mia is part of the bitter beige broke Betty squad. But like in terms of like her siblings, she's probably like the ones that need one that needs the less support of the mom. And in that case, the squeaky wheel, often gets the grease. So the one that doesn't need as much attention doesn't get as much attention. So I felt for her that way, but I still think she lies about a lot of different things. And I don't believe some of this Jacqueline story. I feel like she look at me pronouncing it like Grace. But yeah, I don't believe some of that story about like, oh, Jackie left her with her boyfriend. I was like, she's just making stuff up to make it sound salacious. But I know the timer just ran, but I'm gonna see you in New York. I'm gonna see you in DC too. And if you come
Oh.
to Philly, tell Layla and Grace to come to Philly, and then we could just have a whole thing. So okay, see y'all
Okay.
later. Bye.
Thanks, Jenna. Bye. O'Shea's backstage. We'll bring O'Shea up next. O'Shea, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire.
How
I
are
like
you?
this video.
Thank you.
I would steal it if I was nearby. But anyway. um,
You can order it.
it would take 9 months with our customs for me to receive it. Our post office has been on strike for 3 years. But anyway, that is
Oh.
a separate story.
Okay. All right. Thoughts on Potomac?
I did have a side comment about this cast because I watched your live thing yesterday, and valid as the Essence article is, if you take away those 2 or 3, what, like, I don't know what this cast is left with. Are you left with Wendy and her new story every season about this is her purpose, this is her calling? Like if this was any other cast member, she would be dragged from pillar to post. I think you're literally probably the only one who actually who calls it out as it is, no matter who the person is. And what are we left with Candace? Yeah, that's not to invalidate the article. Obviously, everything they say is very valid. But like, what are you left with if Giselle and Robyn go? I, I don't know where this cast goes to from here. It has reached New Jersey point to me where I don't know. I don't know what goes on with it. There's just like there's two halves that can't be fixed, and if you take one half out, what are you left with? But yeah, I think I'm in time. That's my 2 cents on.
Thanks, O'Shea. Thanks for calling. I think we should normalize just ending shows. Can we do that? I get it for NBC Universal and Bravo. They feel like they're making tons of money. Even if a show is not, the live viewership for Potomac has been down a little bit, not dramatically, but they still make money off of these shows. So I get it why they continue on with them. But as an artiste, as a creative, I wish we would just normalize, you know what? Let's leave on a high. You know what I mean? But I guess not. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the follows, tapping your screens. Thank you, Y, for being here, watching from Germany. Love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, Zoe's backstage. We're going to bring Zoe up. What's going on, Zoe?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'll try to be quick.
Okay.
The essence, I really think there was one point that they purposely left out, which would have just, okay, I'll say it now. It was shocking that the storyline of the Houses of the Witchcraft was even allowed on the platform, considering the fact that majority of Americans are descendants of Nigerians. And now knowing that Houses with the lowest caste is selling them off to the Americans was way easier. Now looking at the descendants of those people sitting on the table and perpetuating that stereotype, that negative concept of Africa, I don't think they even thought about it. I don't even think it even crossed their minds. And for me, I really think that I'm saying this full chest. When I look at Nneka, I see nothing but a spokesperson of the KKK because everything she says is rooted down into racism to the core. And I can never think that I would ever look at her and be okay with her. It's I've never seen an African woman coming in and presenting us in a better light. It's always in racism. I'm done, but it's always rooted in racism. Everything they do and say, even Wendy herself, I even wonder, is she well educated enough about her continent, about the country, about the history that they both come from? And I honestly don't think they do. And it's disappointing since they brag about how intelligent that they are. Thank you.
Good point. Thank you, Zoe. Wow. All right. We're going to bring up some more callers. NYCNP is backstage. We're going to bring her up next. What's going on, NYCNP?
Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, love all your callers. They're amazing.
Yes.
Especially what the last lady just said. I can't even with it's just amazing. But I did listen to your podcast about the Potomac.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they're just not I don't know. I feel like it's definitely someone's doing something very, very wrong because the reason I started watching this show is I love to look at those ladies and their success and their virtualism for each other, and it's not happening anymore. It's very, very sad. Sorry, I'm not gonna see Miss Bar on Thursday, but yeah, it's really sad because this is a platform that's really big, and this same to Married to Medicine, like you could be doing better things with this stuff. There are real issues that you could be championing and you're not doing it. It makes me very sad. I would be friends with all these women. I'm a Libra. I could figure
You better figure it out.
I'm a Libra. I can figure it out. You're a Taurus. We can hang out. It's okay. Oh, also, I just found out one of my only influences in New York City is a friend of yours. He knows you.
Oh.
You guys helped him write his comedy jokes. Anyway,
okay.
I'm trying to drive the thing with me tomorrow or Thursday. Anyway, but thank you so much.
Thank you, NYCNP. Take care. See you soon. All right. Is this the Alex backstage? Alex, is this you?
This is. I joined pretty early. I don't know how I'm at the very end. This is actually sickening. I feel sick.
Okay.
And not sickening in the good way. Anyway.
Let's go to Alex.
When you were talking about about not rebooting a show and just canceling it, and that should be normalized, I actually thought that literally this morning. I didn't watch this episode of Potomac because I feel like Potomac is tired, like Gizelle, very tired and done. very dusty, if you will. I feel like Potomac should just be canceled. I don't know if we need a show in Potomac. Why can't we go to some other city? I mean, there's a million cities in the country. There's so many that have a lot of rich, successful women. Why not just move to another city? Why are we linked to Potomac? Like, please, I'm done. I mean, half of it is already in Bethesda, Maryland. I mean, that's not even Potomac. Hey, Robyn, over in Bethesda. Anyway, listen, I am loving that Juan is falling asleep on Robyn, just like the audience falls asleep on Robyn. Girl, you're boring. Goodbye. I feel like Gizelle, Charisse, Charisse should also go wherever Hugh Beauty is, in the dumpster. Done. Goodbye, Charisse. We don't need to see you again. You're done. Just like you were supposed to be an anchor on this show. Now you're literally fired. Goodbye. You are a relic. You're old. You're dusty. You're done.
Don't be ageist.
Just like Gizelle. I'm not being ageist.
Your
She's
time is
old
up,
in the sense
Alex.
of
No
not
more.
age. Okay, no, not in the sense of age.
Okay.
In the sense of she's dusty.
Oh, okay.
You can be old and you can be amazing, like Karen. I mean, Karen and Charisse are the same age. Karen's amazing and Charisse is dusty. I mean, there's a difference.
You don't even realize that you just shaded up. Just catching strays. All right. Thanks, Alex. Bye. Karen's a perfect example of how you could be old and amazing. Oh my God. I'm sorry. That was hilarious. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say at this live show. I can't wait till you guys come to the mic and share your thoughts on stuff. D, thank you so much for the super chat. D says, let's clock Robyn. She said that she's not going to throw her husband under the bus for TV, but she was willing when it was behind a paywall on her podcast. Points have been made, D. Points have been made. Joe, thank you so much for another super chat. Joe says, kudos to Candace and Robyn for trekking from Maryland all the way to Old Town Alexandria to have that one-on-one conversation. See y'all in New York City on Thursday. All right, Joe. See you soon. All right. Oh, I didn't see that. That's the good thing about those of you that live in the DMV. You actually know where these people are. I'm like, I don't know where they are or what's happening. But it's all right. Let me get to the rest of these calls, guys, because I have to go live again at 5:30 to recap Married to Medicine. I hope you set your timers for that live recap. All right? All right. Let's bring up, hold on, Tyler backstage. Hold on, Tyler. What's going on, Tyler?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, so let me make this very quick. Let me say this. I feel like two things are going on. With Candace and Robyn, I don't think that Robyn is being stirred by Gizelle. I just think that Robyn is one of those type of people. She feels like if you're supposed to be my friend, you shouldn't have went that far. And also, I feel like Candace is playing into the things that social media says. Like, it's kind of like she knows that social media hates Gizelle and Robyn, so she gets on Twitter and ignites that fuel. Like she goes and goes. And I think that's what Robyn was trying to convey, but she couldn't get there because she's not the smartest person. And as far as the cast go, I'm going to be honest. I really think that it's a production problem. Production is not forcing these ladies to get together and resolve things. They're allowing people to just walk away. I've never seen on shows where you don't have to show up to certain events. You don't have to do this. That is the problem. Like, you could change the cast all day long and it's going to be a new girl, same problems after a few years. Just being for real. Production needs to change. That's all.
All right. Tyler, thank you so much for calling in. All right. We're going to bring up Barry next. Hold on. Barry, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Also, a little bit of secret. I don't think I ever told you this before, but my first boss for the first ever internship I had out of undergrad was on season 1 of Potomac, dating Gizelle.
Who was that again?
Go back and watch. I can't. It's probably for political reasons. I can't say his name.
Oh,
but
okay.
to find out who he is on the show,
We all will go Google Schmoogle later. Oh, okay.
Because I grew up in the DMV, so it's like it's 6 degrees of separation. But anyway, I just want to say to your earlier point, I do want luxury on this show. I want to see them spend money that I don't have. I want to be like, that's an aspirational life I want to live. They don't give me that, because the people who really live in Potomac who are about that life, their families work in industries where they will never appear on TV. So you get what you get. So there's that. But also, I think Dr. Wendy is also just starting businesses just to see what sticks.
Mm.
Because I don't see that she's truly passionate about anything. The TV show I can maybe see, but I don't see what Dr. Wendy has to offer personality wise that would be engaging to a wide range of hosts that would warrant a TV show. But that's just my opinion of her. I still think she's smart. Um, Candace, I'm going to put it out there. I'm not a fan of her, but I can admit when she's right and I can admit when she's wrong. Candace can't keep her story straight.
Oh.
You can't tell me that as someone's friend, when you go there and you blast them in their marriage, that you somehow think you and that person are going to be cool. Candace likes to articulate herself in a very deliberate manner and likes to call herself a wordsmith, how she's highly educated. Candace does things with deliberately and with intention. There's no way she could not have known when, and she says they had a real friendship off the show, that you're going to do that about her relationship and you think she's not going to be mad. And when Robyn looks at her and is like, I'm upset, and she was like, well, I don't understand why you're mad. You're playing in her face at that point.
Mm.
And Robyn can defend her marriage as much as she wants. That's not Candace's business. And she's conflating two separate issues. Whether Robyn brought her relationship issues on the show or she wanted to protect her marriage and Juan, that has nothing to do with Candace. That energy and all that smoke should be for Gizelle, because Gizelle brought a rumor that about something baseless that did not happen. And Robyn defended her husband. So you can't say that you also want to be friends with someone if you think Robyn is the kind of person who would do that to you. Because birds of a feather flock together. So if you're thinking that's the kind of friend Robyn is, why do you want to be friends with her unless that's something that you're like as well? Oh. And Candace has shown that she's no one's friend.
Ooh. All right. Thank you, Barry, for calling in.
You're welcome.
Take care. All right. We have Shanisha backstage. We have Kim. We have Shan. And we have Tiffany and Chanel. These will be our last couple of calls, guys, but we will be live again at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. PST for our Married to Medicine recap, so stay tuned for that. We're going to bring up Shanisha next. Shanisha, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Okay, let me tell you. So, I think Mia been screwing this man for a while.
The new guy.
So, I caught a little snippet of him saying Shawnee O'Neal allegedly was his sugar mama at one point in time. Now, I don't know how true it is, but all I'm saying is I think Mia been screwing this man and paying him with Gordon's money.
Oh, wait.
Yes, I do. And then I'm going to leave you with this. I think Bravo needs to offer Candace a really nice relocation package and move her down to Atlanta. Let her play with Miss Twirl. Here's the thing. She wants this music career. An artist has not popped off in the DMV area since who? A. Marie? It's this one thing that got me. No, ma'am. That's all I want to Kempire. Bye.
Thanks, bye, Shanisha. She did all that in under a minute. Okay. Woo! All right, let's bring up Kim next. Y'all are a mess today. Kim, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I love you.
Thank you.
Well, I think that all three women, they have trauma. Gizelle being cheated on, Robyn being cheated on, and Candace, her childhood trauma. And I think that's why they all feel some type of way with the situations that they have. Also, I think that Candace does not have generational wealth like she keeps saying. When I think of generational wealth, I think of someone like Paris Hilton. When I think of generational wealth. Back to the Robyn and Juan situation, Candace, I don't think that she should really point fingers at Robyn because Chris had a DV situation and she didn't bring that on the show. So I think that she should kind of see where Robyn is coming from. And also, I heard at BravoCon that Gizelle took credit for naming her and Robyn the Green Eye Bandits, but if I remember correctly, that wasn't correct. It was actually Monique, season 3, episode 8, and that's when they were called the Green Eye Bandits.
Not the episode. Thank you so much, Kim, for calling in.
Thank you.
Take care. All right, we're gonna bring up Shan. Oh, hold on. Shan will be next. Tiffany, and then our last caller will be Chanel. For those that are watching the replay of this, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to let us know your thoughts on anything that we've talked about. And don't forget our sponsor for today's live show, BetterHelp. All the information on how you can get your first month for 10% off by using BetterHelp.com/Kempire. All right, let's bring up Shan next. Hold on, Shan. What's going on, Shan?
Hi, Kempire. How are
I'm
you?
well. How are you?
Great. I just wanted to say I really love your show. You're like the best friend in my head.
Oh, thank you.
And I love all of your callers. Amazing. I just wanted to say that I agree with the caller, I think 4 callers ago, where he was saying that this whole show just needs to be canceled. It's so boring. Um, I don't know. I feel like it's really struggling bringing on Nneka. She's just not giving, and I really didn't like how she had Wendy's name in her mouth at the Mother's Day brunch.
Yeah.
Like, why is this woman living rent free in your head? Like, just why? Also, Charisse, boring snooze fest. We just don't need her. I say we need to go find Monique and also bring back Katie. Uh, I think since Monique and Katie left, the show has been going down, 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 slowly but surely. Yeah, so if they can't revamp, they need to go ahead and cancel because it's boring. They need to take a page out of Salt Lake City's book, honestly. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you so much, Shan, for calling in.
You're welcome.
All right, we're gonna bring up Tiffany next. Hold on, Tiffany, what's going on? Tiffany, you're muted. There we go. Tiffany.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Tiffany. I can hear you, Tiffany. Why can't you? Tiffany?
I can't hear you.
Oh, drop out, Tiffany. Drop out. Then call me back. Call back. Call back. All right. Let's bring up Chanel next. Hold on. Chanel, what's going on?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, I can. I just wanted to say that it's really disappointing that in general, we can't have a good conversation on colorism and the dynamics between dark-skinned women and light-skinned women, and how those things really take away from Candace and Wendy's experience on this show. I think they both have a lot to bring. I think they have very full lives and family experiences. And unfortunately, we keep coming back to, her and Robyn trying to make this relationship work, when sometimes you just have to let it go, because the way that these dynamics play out and the denial that normally happens is not worth your sanity to try to make it work with somebody who doesn't even want to see, what they've done. So I wish we got to see more of Candace on tour. I wish we could have seen more of, and maybe we will throughout the season, but it's like we see all these things on social media, and then when we get to the show, it's boring because we have to sit and watch her and Robyn fight, and nobody wants to see that, especially because I don't feel like Robyn honestly has gotten enough yelling for how she's acted on the show. But that's all I had. I just really wish that Bravo did a better job of exploring the conversation on colorism, so that these women can really shine. Thank you.
Thank you, Chanel. Take care. All right, let's try Tiffany again. Tiffany, what's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, first, I'm gagging. Hi, I love you.
Thank you.
Second, I feel like sometimes a few of us just don't watch the show with objective lenses, because there's no way you can watch Candace and Robyn sit down and say, Candace, you're right. Because I don't know, not a friend in my phone right now, not a friend I've ever had that will go to Twitter, social media, whatever, and drag me for 40 days and 40 nights and say, I didn't mean to offend you. Not only did you mean to offend me, girl, you could have texted my phone. Like, Robyn was like, Gizzard was wrong. Had a scene with you and said Gizzard was wrong. And the only thing she said was, I guess it looks bad to have like a married man in a room. Like, I guess that looks bad. But was in the streets like, no, she's wrong. Like, she's reaching. Like, what did you want her to do with Gizelle? Like, choke her out with an umbrella? Like, I'm not seeing what Candace wanted Robyn, what more she wanted her to do. But I also don't see how you can say that's your friend outside the show and drag her on Twitter like that. That was it.
All right, Tiffany, thank you so much for calling in.
No, thank you.
Bye. Thank you to all of our callers. We appreciate them. And of course, thank you, Joe, for these 2 super chats. Joe says, if NBC Universal or Bravo want to have high-rated housewives shows, they should pick the counties with the highest cases of fraud and felonies. That means more candidates for fraudster housewives. Oh, Lord. Joe says, has there been a good televised combo about colorism? Perhaps nobody from Bravo has seen what good looks like, so they don't know any better. Well, maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? I don't think there has been, actually. But they could have led the charge if they had handled the last year's reunion properly, but they didn't. Thank you guys so much for all of the super chats. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to our channel members. To become a channel member, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. Thank you to our King's Guards for holding us down in the live chat. And of course, thank you to today's sponsor, BetterHelp. Again, for more information on how you can get 10% off of your first month of BetterHelp, head on over to BetterHelp, HELP.com/Kempire. More information will be available in the description of this video. Thank you to everyone watching on multiple platforms. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I will see you at 5:30 p.m. Eastern on the channel, on the YouTube channel, recapping Married to Medicine. Talk to you guys later. Bye, y'all. Let's get out of here.